And this is actually where Breaking Bad impressed me, because it kept to its roots. You knew that Walter was gonna die in the end of it. You knew that was gonna happen. I have to kind of keep my voice down for this part because my flatmate is still watching Breaking Bad, so I can't. All the way through, Breaking Bad has lived up to expectations. Every season, for me, has always been better than the last. Even season 5, I thought, took a different turn to season 4, and that's what I liked. It still kept to its original roots, but it provided a different kind of approach. And Walter was kind of like above everybody else now. He was a drug lord. He wasn't just a supplier, he wasn't just a manufacturer, he was now a drug lord. He was in association with a lot of these other people, so he felt like he was the man. And because that him and Mike had differences already, boom. Originally I wrote a script for this, but I kind of like doing it this way because I kind of feel like I'm doing it this way and I like doing it this way. The thing I love about Vince Gilligan's style, when you basically have a character, you think he's going to do one thing, but he's actually going to do another, he puts that thought into the characters in the show. Like Walter thinks Skylar's going to say this, but no, she actually says this. Like that scene with Gus in season 4 episode 1, when it's like, Gus, I had no choice, blah blah blah, and he just goes like that. That's just unexpected, and it's not just unexpected for the audience, but it's also unexpected for the characters in the show. That's what makes it so real. So anyway, I'll just talk about the final episode. You could have called that Walter's redemption, pretty much. Now Walter coming back down that son of a bitch, Elliot, who's probably my most hated character in Breaking Bad, because there is nothing worse than the plagiarist. Except a globally terrorizing madman. The person who takes somebody's great idea and makes millions off it. And the worst thing is, it's hard to prove that it was your idea in the first place. I think it was absolutely hilarious when he made that bluff as well, that, you know, the snipers and everything, but it turned out to be Badger. And the one whose name I keep forgetting. And then you see Walt build this machine, and it's like a turret or something, but the way they do that, linked to the other part in the later part of the episode, linked to that, you forget a lot about that, and you're like, oh yeah, he made that before, didn't he? So when it happens, you're like, holy shit. You think, a lot of the capabilities, it's like, the whole theme of the show is like, do not judge a book by its cover. You know, when Walt comes into Tugo's office in the first series, and he's, you know, he's got the top hat on, he shaved himself, and he's still got a mustache and stuff, he's like, this isn't meth. Boom! He surprises people all the time, so it's not like it's unrealistic or anything. So for people saying, oh, this was a disappointing ending or anything like that, I kind of beg to differ, really, because they've always stuck with the same formula. It's always been the same script writing style, so it's kept the same. And people are actually saying that Jesse should have boom Walt, which I'm not exactly too sure if that's actually... No. Do you remember earlier in the show where Jesse was on the phone to Walt and he says, I'm not doing anything else for you, basically. And also that, it's like, do it yourself. It's like, it's not my responsibility anymore. You freed me, I don't have to keep listening to you. And after everything Walt's put him through, you know, making him do stuff in the past. So no, I think the ending was great. I think Jesse, you know, walked away smiling, which, you know, is the way he should have gone away, because he was convinced into this whole deal by Walt. Walt's redemption said that, Jesse, you don't have to put up with me anymore, and no, my family don't have to put up with me anymore. If anything, they've got an even bigger prize now, and they don't even know that I was the one that provided them with that, and they think that, you know, I killed my brother-in-law. And you know, when you see Flynn going into the house and Walt just looking there, it's just quite a sad, very sad kind of ending in a way, but in a way that is just, Walt kind of wanted this to happen. He saw there was no way out. He did everything that he wanted to achieve, and he even, like, it was kind of a confession episode for him as well, where he told Skylar that he did it not to provide for the family as such. Yeah, that was his original goal, but he continued to do it because he liked it, and because it made him feel whole again, not to quote anything. So that pretty much confirms, yes, he did manipulate Jesse, he manipulated a lot of people, and he continues to kind of do that when he manipulates the Brotherhood without banners. And then the song that plays at the end just pretty much sums up everything in one. It is brilliant, and now everyone's flocking to that YouTube video and giving it their all, basically. So that was great. He died where he wanted to die, in his meth lab, you know, dying with the thing that he created, his achievement, proudly. He didn't want to die for nothing. Like, overall, I think if Dexter pretty much stuck to like 5 or 6 seasons, it would have been a better show, I think. You know, they wouldn't have had to just kind of drag out 8 full seasons, and they would have made something much worth watching. Breaking Bad, the reason you know, it's kind of a weird comparison, but both shows ran on at the same time, so I thought it was worth, you know, comparing the two at this kind of time. Like, why does one kind of like do one thing and the other has a completely different style, and how would you compare those two? And pretty much the way I would compare them is that, you know, everyone predicted how Breaking Bad was going to end, you know, the big conclusion, but it was surprising how it did happen, in a way, that who was the one going to kill him? And it turns out it was pretty much himself. Dexter, you know, if he was going to kill Deb, you know, he could have pretty much walked into the police station and confessed everything. He says, "This is what I create," and then pretty much everything. "I'm the Bay Harbor Butcher, I hurt too many people, I caused her to shoot Maria," everything would have been there, and it would have just been, you know, he would have been executed, and that would have been a much better ending than what happened in the show. Hilarious cop-out, and I don't like using the C word that much, not cunt, the other one. So I will seriously miss both shows, despite one being not so disappointing and the other one being majorly disappointing. Breaking Bad, one of the best shows to ever air. I think I'm not sure if they've actually confirmed yet about Better Call Saul, the spin-off that Vince Gilligan's probably coming up with, and I'll be excited to watch that. I don't think Jesse should have a spin-off because he pretty much ended in a good way, and it'd be kind of redundant for him to have a new kind of series based on him, because, you know, all that trouble was because of Walt, and for him to go into more trouble would just be kind of stupid. He's kind of like living his life for the better now. Maybe it's just going to be an ongoing series, like Vince Gilligan is going to kind of link the characters up a bit, and, you know, Saul Goodman is not Saul Goodman anymore, he's someone else. So whoever Saul Goodman is going to be, that'll be the person he plays. I think I'm going to cut off there. Thank you all for watching, and lights out.